your ag operation or restructuring your debt, give Dakota Mac a call. They'll be happy to walk you through your options.
Hi, it's Jim Persinger from Dakota Mac. Call me at 308-284-3260 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Matt Coatney. It's that time before every Husker game in which we take you through the entire conference. It's time for the Big Ten Blitz.
This is the Big Ten Blitz, Maryland.
Here to talk about the Terrapins, Scott Green of Terrapin Nation. Maryland coming off of a waxing of Indiana, 44-17. Pretty impressive performance, it looked like, from Maryland last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of the first game this season where they've hit on all cylinders, both offensively, defensively, and, you know, got off to a really fast start. I mean, scored the first touchdown 25 seconds in. So I think you couldn't have asked for a better game prior to playing the number 4 team in the country. So I think, you know, hopefully we're in for a good one this Saturday.
Tagovailoa with 6 touchdowns. Scott, how well has he played here in 2023 in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, the key with him has just been minimizing mistakes. You know, he's always had the talent, and he's definitely done that this year, and they've also done a good job of just keeping him clean, just avoiding sacks. You know, a lot of that has been on him himself, you know, avoiding pressure, escaping out, you know, outside the tackle box and making plays on his own there. But you know, he's been tremendous. You know, 5 touchdown passes was a career high, 6 touchdowns in total. So again, you know, clicking on all cylinders heading into this big game.
Well, Coach Loxley has said, he goes, it's time now for this program to really try and compete with the upper echelons of the East. And it's so hard to do with the likes of Ohio State, who is up next on Saturday. How does this one break out? And how do you view this game going into it?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest matchup, I think, is, I guess, probably looking at Maryland's passing offense and Ohio State's passing defense, pass defense. You know, both two of the best in the not just the league, but in the country. So it's kind of going to be a battle there to see who can win that battle. You know, you'd like to see Maryland get a running game going. And then obviously, you know, the defense has played extremely well so far this season, but you know, this will probably be their toughest test, and, you know, hopefully they can get some turnovers again. They've been really good in the turnover margin department. I think that'll be a key if they want to come away with a victory also.
You always want to win, but if this game is just competitive in the fourth quarter, do you think Maryland would take that?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, you want to win, I mean, first and foremost. That said, if it's competitive and then they still have Penn State and Michigan at home this season, you know, I still think a competitive game where they're in it right until the end, they'd probably still have a shot to maybe get knock off one of those big 3 in the division, possibly get to 9, maybe even 10 wins this season.
Pretty incredible fall for Maryland football. If that does happen, it's an 11 o'clock Central game on Big Fox. Maryland at Ohio State. Scott Green of Terrapin Nation. Scott, we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Wisconsin.
Here to talk about the Badgers, Ben Wargel of the Badger Nation. Wisconsin coming off of a bye week. Ben, how did they approach that? Was that a self-evaluation week? Was it a take a few days off, get some guys a chance to heal up? How did they approach the bye week?
I think it was a little bit of both. It comes at a good time, too, you know, when you go through the start of a new coaching regime. You have 3 non-conference games where all 3 are fairly uneven. You come out of there 2-1. You win your Big Ten opener on the road by a pretty convincing fashion. Kind of built some excitement there, some things, positivity, especially with how they started the game. Wisconsin have been notorious slow starters this year. But unfortunately, you have a really rough injury to Ches Malusi, their number 1B tailback. And, you know, not going to have him for the rest of the season, leaves a void at that spot. And, you know, it certainly gives them an opportunity to get their backups, running backs, kind of get some more carries, and more importantly, get a little healthier on the offensive line. So Luke Fickell has talked about the importance of getting into a rhythm, getting into a tempo with how to approach practice and meetings and everything that goes into the games. And And a couple of weeks ago, they just weren't there yet. I think this bye week will help them, try to get a good basis for where this team ultimately needs to go moving forward here the rest of the season.
How do they feel like the defense has played through 4 games?
That's a good question. They've had moments, certainly, of that look really, really good, and other moments that kind of show their youth. I think you've seen growth at the defensive line position. You've seen some growth in the secondary. It just isn't consistent yet. This team lacks a really solid playmaker. They had it last year. Keanu Benton at nose tackle, Nick Herbig at outside linebacker were their 2 best players, and both those guys are now with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And no one has really emerged to the point where you can emphatically say that is the leader of the defense from a both vocal and playmaking standpoint. I think Hunter Wohler, their safety from an in-state 4-star kid, is close, but he's still pretty young. But they just don't have that standout linebacker at this point like they've had in years past. And so I think they're still trying to find that identity from a defensive standpoint.
All right, this week it's what appears to be an improved Rutgers team. How do you analyze the matchup here for Saturday?
Yeah. Is the Rutgers that won 52-3 against Wagner closer to the real product, or is it the one that got beat up in Ann Arbor closer to the real product? I think it's somewhere in between. So I think it's a better Rutgers team than in years past. Still at home. I think Wisconsin, I don't know what the point spread is. I'm assuming they're a couple touchdown favorite. Still think this is a game that Wisconsin is going to win and should win. I think people are just kind of waiting here for a real statement win for this team. I don't think Rutgers is going to give that to them. I think Rutgers will test them, certainly coming off a bye. It's just another opportunity for this team to kind of find its rhythm ahead of their daunting 3-game stretch where they play Iowa at home, at Illinois, then Ohio State at home the 3 weeks after this one.
Badgers host the Scarlet Knights, 11 o'clock Central on Peacock. Ben Wergel of the Badger Nation. Ben, we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, talk to you soon.
Iowa.
Here to talk about the Hawkeyes, Scott Docterman of The Athletic. Iowa pulled out a 26-16 victory over Michigan State, but I think, Scott, the bigger story last week was the loss of Cade McNamara. Update us on that and give us kind of a thumbnail sketch on Deacon Hill, the now starting quarterback of the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, Cade McNamara, suffered a torn ACL in his left knee, which is the opposite knee that he had surgery on last year after he transferred from Michigan. So he's going to be out, obviously, for the rest of this year and probably a major chunk of next offseason, although he does plan to come back for what would be his final year of eligibility. But shifting over to Deacon Hill, really a different type of player, a different type of person. He's much bigger. He weighs about 50 pounds more than Cade McNamara, and a little bit taller, a huge, strong arm, but not nearly as experienced. He came to Iowa after hitting the transfer portal in January from Wisconsin, and was third team at Wisconsin and came here to be the backup, and now he's the starter. So he's been kind of erratic at times, but also has some confidence with the team around him. So that's kind of what they're expecting for him to just kind of have everybody rally around him and vice versa.
We have not spoken to you in a couple of weeks. The injury bug has just been nasty, hasn't it, for Iowa? The tight end position's been hit. Just update us on what the injury situation looks like for the Hawks.
Yeah, it's significant, not only with Cade McNamara, who's probably the biggest loss, but also Luke Lachey, who was their best offensive player at tight end. He had 10 catches over the first 2 games and was right in that same category as Sam Laporta and T.J. Hawkinson and George Kittle, and then as an ascending player, but he had a broken leg and is out for the season. And then their top 2 running backs have been out since early in week 3, and that's Caleb Johnson and Jazz Patterson. And it looks like Johnson might return this week from a high ankle sprain, but Patterson's probably still out, and it looks like I think it's a hamstring for him. So they have struggled that way, especially on that side of the ball, which they could use all the help they can get.
All right, this week it's Purdue, and Scott, if memory serves, Purdue has been a bit of a thorn in the side of the Hawkeyes in recent years. How do you size this matchup up?
I think it's going to be a challenge for Iowa. Last year, Iowa did finally break through, but as you noted, 4 of the last 6 years, Purdue has beaten Iowa, and it's kind of a styles make fights. But that was under Jeff Brom, and now they have Ryan Walters, and that's going to be interesting to see how he tries to attack Iowa, and especially defense, what it's offense could do against Iowa's defense. And old friend Tyrone Tracy, who played 4 years at Iowa, is their starting running back, and he's done a heck of a job thus far. And but to me, I think that what probably will separate this game, if it goes in Purdue's favor, is they're very aggressive defensively and get after the quarterback. They have 17 sacks, and Iowa is still kind of a makeshift unit. It's just not really coming together up front quite yet. So that could create some major problems for Iowa come Saturday.
2:30 on Peacock. I hope all Hawkeye fans have registered and submitted their subscription for Peacock.
I'm sure there will be several on Saturday afternoon going, now what channel is that game on?
Crazy stuff. Yeah, 2:30 on Peacock. Scott Docterman of The Athletic. Scott, we appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Cornerstone Bank is committed to providing you game-changing solutions for your financial needs. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Right now it's 6:12 p.m. Central here in Lincoln and Champaign. Right here at Memorial Stadium, it's a very fall-like, crisp 56 degrees. At Memorial Stadium in Champaign, it's 53 degrees with the wind out of the west at 12 miles per hour, gusting to 20 with a feels-like temperature of a chilly 49 degrees. But boy, doesn't that sound like football. I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Broadcast Center, and the Big Ten Blitz continues.
Around the Big Ten, Minnesota.
The upset-minded Golden Gophers are seeking back-to-back victories on Saturday as they host second-ranked and two-time defending Big Ten champion Michigan. The Gophers are coming off a 35-24 homecoming victory over Louisiana and a fourth consecutive Big Ten Freshman of the Week performance. Running back Zach Evans earned the nod after carrying the ball 15 times for 85 yards and a score against the Ragin' Cajuns. Darius Taylor had received the honor in each of the previous 3 weeks. Michigan is 5-0 and has allowed only 30 points this season. The Wolverines have not allowed more than 7 points in any game, and they've not scored less than 30. Michigan has won the last 3 meetings for the Little Brown Jug and 25 of the last 27 overall. The Gophers last won the Earthenware Trophy in 2014 and have not beaten the Wolverines in Minneapolis since 1977. Kickoff is set for 6:30 p.m. Central Time inside of Huntington Bank Stadium. Reporting for the Golden Gopher Radio Network from Minneapolis, Minnesota, I'm Tanner Hoops.
Around the Big Ten,
Purdue plays its first Big Ten road game of the season against West Division rival Iowa. The Hawkeyes will be without starting quarterback Cade McNamara, who suffered a serious knee injury last week in a win over Michigan State. The Boilermakers are coming off a Cannon Trophy win over Illinois, and Purdue has found its running game the last 2 weeks, rushing for 194 yards against Wisconsin and 189 against the Illini. The Boilermakers have won 4 of 6 against the Hawks. From Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, Iowa, I'm Tim Newton.
Tim, thank you very much. I'm Matt Coatney. Here's an update. Husker volleyball at Michigan State. They're tied 8-8 in the first set at the Breslin Center in East Lansing. Join John Baylor and Lauren Cook West on some of our other affiliates for coverage of that. I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Broadcast Center at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, and that's the Big Ten Blitz. And that will wrap up the countdown to kickoff show. The Matt Rhule pregame show comes your way next.
The Matt Rhule pregame show is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative, helping Husker student athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or to donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Also brought to you by LNK, the official airport of the Huskers.
Good evening from Champaign. Tonight, the Nebraska Cornhuskers take on the Fighting Illini. Coach, after the game last week, you said you learned a lot about Heinrich Harburg. What did you learn about your team from last Saturday to getting ready for this game tonight?
Well, last week, as I've said, this week was not our best game. Not one that we're any of us are very happy about. So we recognize that we have to play better, and we have to come out and play with belief and trust, and even when things don't go our way, we have to continue to play that way. And that if that didn't happen on Saturday, we have an opportunity to let it happen again, to make it happen again this week. And so our guys have responded. They've been excited about practice, excited about being back out there, working on the things that caused us to get to that point, and trying to just get better as a football team.
You were asked this week about hesitancy. How as a coach can you convey the message to the guys, just cut it loose and play?
Yeah, you can say that, but really at the end of the day, when you have a bunch of guys, really you're confident in life when you're prepared and you're doing something that you can do. And we have a lot of great guys here that I see what they can do, and sometimes they doubt themselves. They haven't had a lot of success. They haven't been able to kind of get over that hump. And here we are. I think we're close, and we're trying to get over that hump. And they hear me saying that they believe in them, but they also, sometimes they read and listen to people tell them that they can't do it. And I'm trying to teach them that, life is not about listening to other people. It's about believing in yourself, preparing. That's what we did all week.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, experience the personalized difference when your insurance is kept local. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent near you. We've got more with the coach coming up next.
This is the Matt Rhule Pregame Show, brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. You're listening to Big Red Football.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,250 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is your garbage disposal not disposing? You had one job. Drains backing up can cause a horrible smell in a home, damaged pipes, and so much more. Some signs that your garbage disposal may be going out include frequent clogs, abnormal and louder noises than normal, or water is leaking from the bottom, just to name a few. John Henry's is here to take care of all the pipes and drains in your home. Call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975. And now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
That's what it sounds like when a farmer opens a bag of Pioneer brand A-Series soybeans. But not just any farmer. The type who expects nothing less than the absolute best. Who sees our 3 bushel per acre edge over XtendFlex and gets excited about how big of a yield advantage they'll have at harvest. Pioneer brand A-Series soybeans. #1 for a reason. Visit pioneer.com/advantage.
Nothing goes better with Husker Sports in Fairbury. Fairbury premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. Fairbury, the official hot dog of Husker Nation. Tonight, the Huskers on the road to take on the Fighting Illini, a Brett Bielema coach team. What do you think of when you think of Brett Bielema?
Well, I think about physical play, great defense, running the football. And, you watch what Coach has done. He's changed based upon the talent that he's had each and every stop. And even if you look at, Illinois in 2020, in huge sets, running the ball, keeping the game close, to last year, playing great defense, being more explosive on offense. Now they're more of a spread team that can run the football. They do it all. And, they're going to line up. They're going to play a bear defense. They're going to play man-to-man against us. They're going to, try to get the ball to #1. They're great receiver, Williams. And so they know what they're doing. They have a plan. We have to just play better than them.
You mentioned the defense. They've got 2 guys up front, Randolph and Newton. They call them the law firm. How do you have to attack those 2 tonight?
Well, there's not a lot of double teams. Because they have so many guys up there. It's a lot of single blocks. We're going to have to, pick and choose our spots. But, they're really good players. got a lot of confidence in our guys, and I think coming off of last week, the biggest thing is we just want our guys to play hard, play physical, believe in themselves, be confident, attack. We'll have to find some runs that really suit us and take our shots in the play action game and try to win third down. So the hat will be on a lot of different guys' heads, and we expect them to come through.
Did Fleeks earn himself some more playing time?
100%. Yeah, I mean we feel really good about where he's at. He's learning. He's trying to learn it. New. So he's learning. The running back position. There's a lot of differences from that to receiver, the footwork, the protections. But he's come a long way quickly, and I think he'll help us. He'll help us the rest of the season, but certainly in this game.
Altmaier's their quarterback, Ole Miss transfer. What does he do well?
Well, number one, he's athletic. Okay. Number two, he's an accurate passer. He's tough. He's competitive. He goes to the right place with the ball. We're going to have to do a really nice job of rushing him. When we've played well on defense, we've stopped the run and gotten pressure on the quarterback. When we haven't played as well, we haven't gotten pressure on the quarterback. So with an athletic quarterback like Altmaier, you have to be aggressive, but also have discipline in your rush lanes, and that's a challenge for the guys up front tonight.
Number one, Williams is a guy that looks like they try to get him the ball in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, they target him 1 out of every 2 plays. I mean, former quarterback. I think he's 5th all time in Illinois history going into the season. They're going to try to get him the football, and so he's a great player. You can't just say, hey, we'll play man on him. He can beat that at times. So we have to play some man, play some zone. We have to do whatever it takes. So they're going to run the football. They're going to try to get the ball to one. They're going to run the quarterback. They're going to attack us in every single way.
They have blocked 4 kicks. What kind of challenges are they in special teams?
Yeah, they come after you. They're very, very aggressive, and now we faked the field goal, so that might challenge them a little bit in the field goal game. But punt protection wise, people have gotten to us early in the year. They've hit our punter. They haven't really gotten a piece of one yet, but we showed some vulnerability there. So we've worked this week on being more physical at the point of attack. We need those guys to step up and make those blocks. I know our guys can do it, but it's good when you see a team like this who comes after you the way that they do. Hopefully it creates urgency within our players that, hey, we have to get this done.
Husker Football brought to you in part by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com for all your truck, SUV, and electrical vehicle needs. A final thought from the coach coming up next.
On the Huskers Radio Network. Hey, Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rhule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska. Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Challenge. It's not something you shy from. It's a chance to up your game. Every day brings a new challenge, but with the enhanced Channel Seed brand on your side, you can rise to it. With our top-performing seed, innovative digital tools, and expanded agronomic support, you can turn tomorrow's challenges into your next advantage. Your enhanced Channel Seed brand. Let's rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Hey, Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student-athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student-athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
This is Big Red Football.
I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program. I'm recruiting for the team, and I want it to be the finest team in America. I'm looking for someone like you to be a Teammates mentor. someone who is willing to reach out to a child and make a difference. Meeting with a student once a week at school can make an impact in their life and in the community. We want you to join our team. Go to teammates.org to apply today.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
The 1890 Initiative, helping Husker athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Huskers playing Friday Night Football tonight here against the Fighting Illini, also 2-3. Big game, 7 games left in the season. A lot of opportunity. This seems like a great opportunity tonight for the Big Red.
Yeah, these guys want to win, and they want to play well. For me, I want them to win desperately, but just as importantly as that, I want them to play in a way that they're proud of. I want them to handle adversity when it comes. I want them to handle success. We're close to being a good football team, and I believe that we can be a good football team. And so this would be a tremendous opportunity for us to go out and play the way that we know that we're capable of. And I know that their minds are set on it, but you know what? So is Illinois. Illinois is in the same spot we are, and they want to win. We want to win. Let's go fight it out.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Comments of the head coach of the Huskers. This week's contestant for the Woodhouse block punt for a touchdown contest is Shelley Austin in Omaha. If the Huskers block a punt, return it for a touchdown, Shelley could win a 2-year, 10,000-mile per year lease on a truck from Woodhouse. Go to huskers.com/Woodhouse to get yourself entered and get your official rules for the game. We'll have more pregame coming up
on the Huskers Radio Network.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Pioneer is proud to partner with Iowa and Nebraska in the Pioneer Heroes game on November 24th. This coveted trophy game is about more than winning. It's about those in our local community who inspire us in our everyday lives. From the school bus driver to the volunteer firefighter, there are those that make a difference and, simply put, make our lives better. Every community has their heroes, and Pioneer is proud to honor those who stand as an inspiration to others in the Pioneer Heroes game.
Welcome back to the Acres Broadcast Center at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. I'm Matt Coatney. Let's take a look at the Sandhills Big Ten scoreboard update. The 1890 Initiative, helping Husker athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. On some of our sister Huskers Radio Network affiliates, second-ranked Nebraska volleyball trailing in the first set at Michigan State, 21-17. Tomorrow, 11 of the 14 Big Ten teams will be playing at 11 a.m. Central. Maryland at number 4, Ohio State, 2 unbeaten teams meeting. Rutgers at Wisconsin at 2 p.m. Central. Howard at Northwestern at 2:30 p.m. Central. Purdue at Iowa. And at 6:30 p.m. Central tomorrow night, number 2 Michigan at Minnesota. I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Broadcast Center in Lincoln. Get ready, Nebraska. The Huskers are back on the road. Greg Sharp, Jeremiah Sirles, and Jessica Cootie are all ready to go. Nebraska at Illinois. Husker football next.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Huskers Radio Network.
The 31st head coach of the University of Nebraska's football program, Mr. Matt Rhule.
It's time for Nebraska Cornhuskers football.
They fake the handoff. Tubman keeps it himself. Touchdown!
A new era begins in Husker football.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
I want to build a team that's tough. I want to build a team that's hardworking. I expect our guys to be tough. I expect them to work hard, and I expect them to compete, and I expect that because I and my staff will do the same thing every day.
It's time for the Pre-Kick Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
The calendar and the weather have both changed since last Saturday. The Cornhuskers are coming off of a disappointing game against Michigan and look to rebound tonight here in Champaign against the Fighting Illini. Good evening from Illinois' Memorial Stadium. I'm Greg Sharp. The Huskers knew that Michigan was a good team, but having acknowledged that, Matt Rhule wasn't happy at all with the Big Reds' play. The team started this short week with a physical Sunday practice. Tonight they're going to face an Illinois team in a similar boat. The Illini have the same record. They're coming off of a disappointing game last Saturday against Purdue. The two teams mirror each other in many ways. Both are upside down on the turnover margin, both with a bevy of injuries, and both desperate for a win here tonight. Nebraska is hoping that the month of October is where this season turns around, and it begins tonight against Illinois. When we come back, former Husker Jeremiah Sirles will join me as pregame continues from Champaign.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
A bag of corn is, well, a bag of corn, unless it's a bag of Pioneer brand Chrome seed corn. Then you're dealing with the most optimized yield potential, agronomic performance, and insect protection the Pioneer lineup has to offer. A bag that will make life easier for you, 8 bushels per acre easier, and much harder for rootworms in the competition. Pioneer brand Chrome products, field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/plantchrome.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
There's only a few minutes left before Mom gets home and Dad needs a win.
He's had a long day, Mac.
He certainly has. Will this All-Star deliver dinner on time, or will Takeout take the title?
Oh, look. He's changing up formation. What's he up to?
There's a snap. He's heading to the fridge. Something's happening.
He's going for... I can't believe it.
Dad's got a bottle of Dorothy Lynch, and he's done it. The chicken, the salad, the veggies. He could go all the way.
Incredible flavor. Unbelievably easy. That's how you win with Dorothy Lynch.
Winning a new truck playing Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery changes a person. I used to drive around hills. Now I drive over them. I used to hate helping friends move. Now I can do it in one trip. I used to own my own tech company. Now I'm on the professional rodeo circuit. Actually, I'm going back to tech. Bulls are really mean, and I just don't look good in chaps.
Play Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
This is Big Red Football.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975, and now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hi, Husker Nation. This is Jim Baldonado with the Home Agency. It's been a stormy summer, but that's why we do what we do. Whether auto, home, crop, farm, or commercial coverage, our agents shine when it comes to providing you with the best coverage and customer service after the sale. Our passion is keeping you protected, so you can do more of what you love, like cheering on the Huskers. Give us a call today. Call home, the Home Agency, that is, at 1-800-245-4241. That's 1-800-245-4241.
I learned a lot of sayings from my dad. One of them was, do one thing, do it better than anyone else. At Dakota Mac, that one thing is long-term, fixed-rate loans for ag real estate. If you're considering expanding your ag operation or restructuring your debt, give Dakota Mac a call. They'll be happy to walk you through your options.
Hi, it's Jim Persinger from Dakota Mac. Call me at 308-284-3260 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Pioneers proud to partner with Iowa and Nebraska in the Pioneer Heroes game on November the 24th, honoring local heroes who positively impact the community and stand as an inspiration to others. Pioneer proudly celebrating our local communities. We welcome you back to Memorial Stadium here in Champaign, Illinois. Tonight, Nebraska set to take on the Fighting Illini. Delighted to be joined for the second time this year in the booth. Jeremiah Sirles, former offensive lineman for the Big Red, went on to have a nice career in the National Football League, and we're lucky to be able to pull him in with us here tonight. Big game. This should be two really hungry football teams ready to compete here tonight.
Absolutely. You look at these two teams on paper, and they're basically mirror images of each other, both underperforming where they wanted to do well at. Illinois coming off an embarrassing loss to Purdue, us coming off a waxing of the Wolverines last week. Both teams are looking at this as a turning point, as a pivotal part to gain some momentum going into the back half of the season.
How nice is it to have a short week when you have that kind of a performance on Saturday? Because football, the bad thing about football, Jeremiah, is you got to wait a whole week to get to the next game. So maybe better that it's a day earlier?
Absolutely. You want to get that taste out of your mouth as quickly as possible. When you have a loss, especially at home, and then you got your face rubbed in it, nothing did that better than just getting back out on the football field, correcting the mistakes. Rhule obviously had a very physical week of practice with these guys to get these guys ready. Now it's time to flush that, put it away, and put your next foot forward.
All right, this Husker team, and I think everybody was I think everyone knew last week that was an incredibly tough challenge. So much respect for Michigan. But I think everybody was like, kind of made it too easy for them, didn't we?
We didn't punch them in the face. You know, I wanted to see Nebraska do what Northwestern did to Penn State last week, right? First quarter, you come out swinging, hair on fire, ready to go. I thought we came out very flat last week. I didn't think there was a ton of fight in this team. I expect a very different Nebraska team tonight. You know, I expect us to come out. I think Rhule said it. He put it out in the media. We're going to find out who we are about our team. The team hears that, right? And Rhule doesn't say those things if he doesn't think his team can handle it. His team is in a place right now that he feels they need that nudge. They need that push to get them going. And the comments of Rhule saying we're going to find out who our team is, we're about to find out here in 25 minutes, Greg.
All right, Illinois has certainly a lot of warts. I mean, they have, statistically, you look at some of their numbers, I mean, they are low in 102nd scoring defense, 108 rush defense. I mean, you think Nebraska can be able to run the football against this group tonight.
This is going to be a big game for Grant, Johnson, Harburg. Those dudes got to have big games with their legs, you know. I think Illinois knows we want to run the football, so defensively they're going to really stack the box. They're going to make sure that guys are in there, and they're going to dare us to throw it. But, you know, when you stack the box like that, there's no back end. That's where the big explosive runs come. If those receivers, the receivers really got to get in there and push crack on those safeties. But I expect a big running game out of Nebraska tonight because we're going to need it. This needs to be a 40-plus rush type of game.
And you just heard the coach interview. We talked about Is Fleeks maybe going to get some more carries? He said, heck yeah. I mean, he bust that one last week for 74 yards. That deserves some more totes.
And Fleeks isn't a small human, right? You think receiver, I mean, Fleeks is all of 205, 206, and he showed that he's got the burners to be able to get through. You know, the one thing, though, converting from wide receiver into the running back role is ball security. You know, those receivers aren't used to running through the line of scrimmage and guys reaching and punching as they go through. You got to make sure 2 hands on the football through the line of scrimmage, because as a receiver, you're used to getting out there in space, right? You got to break through that first contact. But I would like to see a lot more Fleeks back there, because he has that home run threat ability.
All right, let's flip to the other equation of this game. Illinois has had all kinds of injury problems along the offensive line. They've been turnover prone at times. How about the matchup of Nebraska's defense against Illinois' offense?
Well, first of all, you got to look at the offensive line for Illinois. Completely beat up. They're out multiple starters. They've had guards moving to tackles moving inside, dudes switching sides of the ball. They have not done a good job of protecting the passer. They have not done a good job at all. I can see us getting to home a lot. Ty Robinson, Cam Lenhart being back today is going to be huge for us. But as I said in the keys of the game earlier, we have to earn the right to rush the passer on third down. That means being very good on first down, very good on second down, putting them in the third and longs, putting them in the position they don't want to be in as much as our offense doesn't, which is an obvious passing situation. Then we can see Tony White turn it up, turn it loose, send guys all over the place. But we have to be better on first and second down, because this Illinois offense is not very dynamic, but it's Brett Bielema. They want to be physical, and they want to run the football.
You use the term turn them loose. We've heard the coaches for Nebraska kind of think that that's not really been happening, that the guys aren't kind of cutting it loose. How do you do that as a player, just to cut it loose?
You cut it loose when you trust your system and you trust your technique, right? When you're not trying to press and you're not trying to do too much, and you can just know, hey, I'm playing within the system here. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to execute the highest level, and I'm not going to try and create something and go rogue and be out of my gap, or maybe I can rush inside, or I'm going to jump outside because I think I can get home. Play within the system. The coach is trusting you to be there. The other 10 guys on the team are trusting you to be there. And if you have confidence in your preparation and you have confidence in what you've done during the week physically, then you go out and turn it loose, and the good plays and the big plays just come to you. You don't have to force them.
All right, both teams have retreated to the locker room. Let's go down to the Rob Seco sideline and get an update on what was taking place during warm-ups, what observations Jessica Cootie has.
Well, let's start with the really good news. Great to see number 11 Cam Lenhart back in uniform, going through full warm-ups. Was full go out there, so definitely some much-needed depth there to that defensive line. Had a great start to the season. Heinrich Harburg, quarterback, did get the number 1 snap, so it looks like it will be Harburg again making his 4th start here tonight. You guys were just talking about Josh Fleeks. He got a lot more reps here in warm-ups than he did last week, so I do think he will be a bigger part of the equation. Another guy that got a lot of action during warm-ups was Jaden Doss. So the freshman perhaps maybe going to be able to also add another weapon there for the offense. Also at safety with no Deshaun Singleton, it looks like it's going to be Phelan Sanford that will get the start today. Isaac Gifford, Phelan Sanford were back there starting at safety. Also, Tristan Albano actually just went back into the locker room. He was the last one out here getting some extra work and kicking into that wind, which we've talked a lot about, could be a factor here tonight. So stayed out here with Ed Foley and got some extra work as well. And then also you guys had also talked about the crowd. A couple of the staff members were asking me about it, and is this thing going to fill in? It's pretty dead down here, and not going to lie, there is a pretty good group of red down here in the end zone that we're having some go big reds throughout warm-ups, but it's definitely going to be a create your own kind of energy down here on the sideline, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a sleepy start, at least for the folks that are here right now, and so not the most daunting atmosphere that you're going to play in here on a Friday night for the Huskers. All right, Jessica, thank you. Let's take a break, come back, we'll talk more pregame and get you ready for this kickoff tonight between the Huskers and the Illini. That's coming up next.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. Without this, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a censor button. My password to my bank account is Ty's cool password 1. Uh-oh. Luckily, Innovation Refunds is more reliable. Go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS to get started.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job,
or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,250 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Brent Custer in Broken Bow and ask about Shelter's competitive rates.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
This is Big Red Football.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we prioritize our customers and promise an honest experience from start to finish. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and experience for yourself why we are Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
There's room at the table, saving you money on every gallon at a CVA fuel site. Central Valley Ag offers a 5-cent per gallon discount at the pump to CVA fuel card holders. Now, for a limited time, get a 5-cent discount and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game when you get a new or additional CVA fuel card. Sign up to win at CVAcoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
The Lincoln Airport is the official airport of the Huskers. Book your tickets at GoFlyLNK.com. So as Jessica mentioned before the break, Jeremiah, looks like Heinrich Haarberg gets the start. We've kind of been thinking and getting the hint from the coaches that we may see Jeff Sims play some tonight, but Heinrich is taking care of the football, which is priority probably #1 for a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, ball security is job security, right? I mean, we talked about it in the first game of the year. If you turn the ball over again 4 times, you're going to put yourself in a really bad position, and it puts your defense in a bad position. You want to give your defense confidence, and Haarberg's earned the right to start this game. You know, I think we're going to see Jeff Sims. I think there'll be some packages for him to get him eased back in a little bit. But you can't rip it away from Haarberg after last week. Last week was definitely an outlier, right? You have to see what he can do against a Big Ten opponent. I mean, his 2 starts were against non-Power 5 opponents. You've got to see what he can do out here against legit talent, NFL talent. How does he manage the game? How does he manage a road game? There's a lot of evaluation that's going on with Haarberg through this game before you just turn the reins over to Jeff Sims.
And Coach Rhule said after the game last week, he said, Heinrich showed me quite a bit. He hung in there. He kept battling last week, even though the score didn't go the way. The one turnover he had was a deflected pass that got picked off by defensive lineman. He does have that little bit of a sidearm delivery, which kind of lowers the scope for a lot of those big defensive linemen to get their arms in the air.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time for him to get the ball out of his hand when he zips it, right? And you hear it all the time in the pre-draft process, talk about throwing motion and how quick they can get the ball out. But one thing he has done is he's not afraid to tuck and run it and be physical. And that's going to be a big part of this game.
Speaking of tucking and run, Illinois' quarterback will. Luke Altmaier will take it and go, maybe more so than anybody we've seen all season long. J.J. McCarthy can do that, doesn't like to do it, but he hurt the Huskers last week with some runs. That may be part of the plan tonight for Brett Bielema.
Yeah, and McCarthy's runs were more created. You're going to see some called runs for Altmaier, right? Because whenever you can run with the quarterback, you can really add an extra element of the blocker. Most of the time, the quarterback's not accounted for in the count, right? He's the guy handing it off, moving around. But when you call a true quarterback run, you gain an extra blocker, whether it's the halfback, the fullback, the tight end, and you can create really good seams. Think back to Jeff Sims' touchdown against CU when it was a called quarterback run. Got to be good on the edges. MJ Sherman, Chief Borders, setting the edge. If it's a read pull, you got to make sure you know, is my assignment the dive or is it the quarterback? Because he can pull it. He's their leading rusher. He can take it the distance. He's got some good speed to him.
The Illinois marching band entertaining the crowd before the start of this game here today. One of the most famous Illinois alumni, Dick Butkus, passed away yesterday in his sleep. They have statues of Butkus around the stadium here at Memorial Stadium, one of the all-time greats. They're going to have a moment of silence here for him in just a moment. We're back with some final pregame thoughts, give you the starting lineups, the coin toss, and get this one underway. A Big Ten matchup tonight here in Champaign, Nebraska and Illinois.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we are born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Allergy season is officially here. Your home should be a place where you can escape dust, pollen, and other allergens. But every time you enter your home, you bring them inside. John Henry's offers numerous products to remove allergens and germs from your home. Call John Henry's today to learn more about our indoor air quality products to breathe easier in your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Are you ready for Husker football? Because it's time to get geared up. We're all coming together for those amazing on-the-field moments. Shields is right there with you, cheering our team on to victory. So suit up in your Husker red with fan gear from Shields, in-store or online. And let's get ready for Husker football. Shields, proud partner of Nebraska Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Memorial Stadium here in Champaign. Time now for our Nebraska soybean starting lineups. Let's give you the Husker defense first. Up front, Nash Hutmaker with a sack and a half on the year. Ty Robinson with a half a sack. Blaze Gunnarsson has 1 sack on the season. You will see also at the jack, Princewell Uman-Mielen is going to get a start tonight. The true freshman is really rocketed up the depth chart for the Huskers. Also look for Cam Lenhart to get some significant snaps up front for the Big Red in this game. The linebackers, Nick Henrich with 2 sacks on the year, will be joined by John Bullock. The safeties will be Omar Brown and Phelan Sanford, who was working with the ones during warm-ups in this game. The corners, Malcolm Hartzog, who has 3 career picks, not any yet this year in 2023. And Quentin Newsom, still looking unbelievably for that first career INT for Q. And the jack position will, for the Huskers, as I mentioned again, will be Princewell Uman-Mielen. We'll also see a lot of Jamari Butler playing for the Big Red on defense. Over on the offense, about to make his 30th start at left tackle, Turner Corcoran. Ethan Piper, his 26th career start for the Big Red at left guard. Ben Scott at center. Nuri Neweli is the right guard, the right tackle. 35 now career starts for Bryce Benhart. The tight ends, Nate Borkacher, who was the feature of our Cornhusker conversation earlier today. Nate has 4 catches. Thomas Fedoni, 9 catches, 3 touchdowns. He's been a popular target for the Huskers in the first 5 games of the year. Quarterback will be Heinrich Harburg, completing 53% of his passes, 4 touchdowns, 1 INT. He's rushed for 278 yards and 2 scores. Anthony Grant will be the one back, 224 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns for Anthony so far this year. The wide receivers, Billy Kemp, 17 catches, 1 for a score. Marcus Washington, 7 catches. Alex Bullock will be the other wideout, 5 catches with 1 touchdown pass. Another Nebraska farm fact, Nebraska soybeans are an innovative alternative to petroleum in many everyday products. There are some true freshmen that made this trip, Jeremiah. Jessica referenced Jaden Doss, the wideout from the Kansas City metropolitan area. He broke an arm back in August camp, healed up, practiced well this week. We might see him out on the field tonight. You're into week 6, chance maybe to get some new guys into the rotation.
Yeah, you know, it's still early enough in the season you don't have to burn their shirts. You can get them in for a couple games, see how they feel, see how they get in there, get them 2 or 3 games here, sit them down for a few weeks, then use them at the end of the season if you need them. But we need help at the wide receiver position. We need guys that can take the top off, guys that can gain trust. We just need help at that position. You know, Malachi Coleman's a guy we still could possibly see as well. But, I mean, excited for these young guys. Big test, on the road, get a chance to go show what you're worth.
Jalen Lloyd had a catch late in the game last week for the Huskers. Jeremiah, another thing that's similar about Illinois and Nebraska, neither team has played well early in games. Nebraska has only managed 7 points in the first quarter through 5 games. Illinois through 5 games. They have been outscored in the first quarter 39-10. When you have 2 teams desperate for a win, you got to believe the one that gets off to the quicker start would have a great chance.
Both these offenses are not built to come from behind. It's just not what they want to do. Brett Bielema's never been built like that. He wants to control the clock, grind it out, keep it away from the opposing offense, and you do that by starting out and getting a lead. Both teams are going to be desperate to get a lead. That doesn't mean that's just the offense. Both defenses are going to have to be on their P's and Q's at the beginning of this game. No explosive plays, make them go the distance, see if they can get them to make a mistake. But both teams, it's like I said earlier, Greg, it's like a mirror image of each other. When you look at them on tape, you look at them statistically, these 2 teams are very evenly matched. And you talk about a coin flip game, it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes tonight.
It does grind me that Illinois has won 3 straight in this series. That is really hard for me. It makes me mad to think about that.
I don't love Brett Bielema. No, there's no mistake there. He hung 70 on me in a Big Ten championship. Not a lot of love for that man. Yep. I would love nothing more for us to come in here, show Rhule, bounce back from that week last week, show what the heart of this team looks like, show what the discipline of this team looks like, get a win on the road, night game, somewhat fun environment, but just be able to come out of here with a win would be awesome.
Very late arriving crowd. It is filled in a lot in the last 5 minutes as I look out there. About 10 minutes ago, you and I are going, I'm not sure there's 20,000 people in here. There is now.
Yes.
The student section is really filled up. The band's got to go take their seats here in a minute. And even the South Loop, the horseshoe part, of the stadium is starting to fill in as well. So, again, I think a lot of this is a product of a Friday night. A lot of people work. You have to drive in, try to find a place to park, get in here, because campus parking's locked up until 5 o'clock. So that does make for a little bit of a late arriving crowd. But if there's not a big atmosphere, you have to kind of, as Jessica put it a moment ago, you got to create your own energy sometimes.
Yeah, and it's harder for the home team to come out with a low energy than it is for the away team. You know when you go on the road, you got to bring your own energy. Now, you can feed off the crowd, but you got to bring your own energy. But when you're the home team and you kind of run out, and I think we fell victim to this a little bit last week, you can feel a little bit of a letdown. You run out like, man, there's no one here to watch us play. But if you can bring your own energy and you can come and you can take control of this environment, that's when you'll feel the momentum swing on your side. And there's nothing more fun than going on the road and taking that opening drive, going down, putting points on the board, and you just feel all the momentum getting forward. So Huskers got to weather the little bit of the initial storm, see what kind of energy they bring. I love the energy they had in warm-ups. Now that's got to translate on over into 60 minutes of really good physical football.
This is kind of cool. A little orange smoke coming out from some of the things as the Illini come out and take the field here, with fireworks firing up from boxes on the field. Kind of like the orange smoke.
You can see the wind. The wind's come pretty hard out of the north here. It's going to play a factor in the kicking game tonight. The wind will have a factor, but orange smoke coming through here. Pretty cool entrance. I don't remember this last time we were here. They're going big fireworks show.
I don't either. This is like a Darren Erstad 4th of July party that I'm watching here. Huskers are just now, the captains have just popped out from the tunnel to our left. I don't see the Huskers congregating. Nebraska was over a minute late last week getting out on the field. People kind of wonder, where are the Huskers? They waited so long. Jim Harbaugh said, heck with it, I'm coming out.
My son asked me, why are we clapping so long, Dad? Because it just felt like it was taking forever. But, Rhule wants to make sure he has his message gone. He wants to make sure everyone's focused in. And we're going to come out on our time here. But, yeah, captains making their way out on the field now. I should expect the Big Red to be coming out any second here.
So the captain's heading out. We'll be going down momentarily to Jessica for the toss of the coin. Boy, that smoke, I can smell that smoke coming at our way here. So Huskers and Illini, Friday night football, getting the jump on the weekend. And for Nebraska, this will go into a bye week after tonight. So they don't play for 15 days after this game. And boy, you would love to go into a bye week coming off of a win.
It's such a big thing to come off of a win for a bye week because, like we talked about in the opener, when you have a loss, you chew on it, you think on it, you move on it. But when you can get a win going into bye week, it really allows you to kind of settle yourself down and then start really working on yourself, right? Reading self-scout of what do we do well on offense, what do we do well on defense, not sit there and just dwell on a loss. So this would be big for momentum going into a stretch here, Greg, where I think the Huskers can go 3-1, 4-0 in the next 4 games, but you can't do it if you start 0-1.
All right, Huskers have charged out on the field. Let's send you down to the field right now for the toss of the coin, our Jessica Cootie.
Captains for Illinois, Isaiah Adams, Johnny Newton, Keith Randolph Jr., Tip Riemann, Isaiah Williams. For the Huskers game day captains today, linebacker Jamari Butler, defensive back Tommy Hill, wide receiver Marcus Washington, and tight end Thomas Fedoni. As the captains are shaking hands, we'll send things over to the referee, Jeffrey Cervinsky.
This is the head, and that is the tail. Head, tail. What is your call? Tails is a call, gentlemen. Tails. It is a tail. You're going to toss. You're deferring your choice.
All right, Huskers win the toss. They're going to defer to the second half, guys.
All right, so the defense, the black shirts will be out there. First time now for our view from the field, brought to you by FieldNet. All right, Jeremiah Sirles, what do you see?
I see a lot of red here for the view from the field, but I also see the student section filled in, the crowd's coming back in, but it's a glorious night. The weather is ultimate football weather, Greg. You can't